Ah, Danny, you there? I can't hear you though. Hang on 1 second. Danny, on speak again, Danny.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, that's weird.
Yeah, finally.
Did you just get in?
Yes. I was doing everything that I was meant to have done, but all of a sudden it just got me in.
Ah, there we go. Okay. Well, we are live.
Okay.
Bear with me though. I'm just setting up.
No, no worries.
We'll give time for a few people to join anyway. Should have had
Yeah,
some
that's fine.
music to play.
Yeah. No, technology's not my thing.
I think it might be my end, mate, because I haven't brought a guest in for so long.
To be honest, I think anything like that on iPhone is not always the best anyway.
Yeah. There you go. I've just
When
got
I
it.
do team meetings for work and stuff, it's not always great.
Well, we've got people joining. I can't see if we've got any comments. Oh, Dave Wells, hi lads. Right, let me just go onto a screen. So you should better see me. Can you
Yep.
see me, Danny?
Yeah, I can see you, mate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I better bring you in a second. So just I'll quickly, as people are joining, I'm going to take my headphones off for a second because I get the weird feedback thing. But we're just having a technical getting Danny into the stream tonight, but he's now on. So I'll introduce Danny in a minute. We haven't done one of these live streams. We used to call them Let's Talk Romans, which is quite pertinent to what we're going to be doing tonight because Danny's from Lads Speak Out. So it's all about talking and all that good stuff. So Let's Talk Romans was a live stream series we did last season, but it died a death this season just through time and all of that. But Danny from Lad Speak Out approached us about collaborating with his fantastic team and cause, and that's why we're here tonight. And I'm just checking viewers that we're getting. Yeah, we're getting viewers, and we've also got people joining on TikTok as well, which is fantastic. So that's working. Let me just add a quick side by side so I can get you and I on the same screen, Danny. And let's just select a background for that as well. That one will do. Boom. Right, so if I go to that, there we go. Should be able to see Danny now, everybody. You know who I'm talking about. Can you hear me all right, Danny?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, yeah.
Right, and I think I'm just going to turn you up slightly. Good news. There we go. Just checking comments. Can hear you both clearly. Hi, boys. Really looking forward to this one. Me and my friend George Cheevers are avid fans. Thanks, Big Jonesy. So, yeah, actually, on that note, before we kick off properly, do join in the conversation. This whole thing about men's mental health, Let's Talk Romans, Lads Speak Out, it's about talking. So get your comments in, get your questions in, and we will come and address those at some point. So Danny, over to you. Introduce yourself, my friend.
So I set up Lads Speak Out 2022. I've had friends that have been affected, lost their battles to mental health. Myself, with my own mental health in the past, I'm also a support worker, so I work in the mental health field. And I just wanted to do more. And, you know, when you lose someone through mental health, you always think, what more can I do? And I was part of a Sunday League football team that, if I'm honest, a lot of the players probably wasn't necessarily going to get in the first team. And there wasn't really a place for lads that just wanted to go out there, play football and use it as an escape. And I've met some amazing people through Lads Speak Out. One of them is George Cheevers.
Oh, you know George.
George is our mascot.
Oh, I did not know that.
George is our mascot. Yeah, George is a massive part of what we do. He goes to every game. I can't always play all the audios because there is a few blue words from George sometimes in the crowd. But yeah, George is a massive part of what we do. He actually comes and watches the charity team because we've got two teams. He supports the charity team, and we asked George what role he wanted to do, and he wanted to be the mascot. Last year we did a massive fundraiser game because my mum was ill and raising funds for a charity that helped her at the time.
Yeah.
And George was there 2 hours before kickoff with his horn, just supporting us. I think he's bought every merch that's going with Lads Speak Out. But yeah, he's a massive ambassador for us, and obviously he's got a big love for your club as well.
Yeah, he has. He's obviously a big Stevenage Borough fan as well. Well, they're not called Stevenage Borough anymore, are they? I always say that. I'm too old. But
Stevenage,
yeah. But he does come to a lot of our games too, which is fantastic. Sorry, I've just thrown our sponsors up on there to fill a bit of space because I didn't get a chance to make a proper graphic. And I should just say to everyone who's watching both on TikTok and on YouTube, we've never met before, have we, Danny? This just came about.
No, never, no.
Did you reach out? Do you know Tahid, our club owner?
Yeah, I know him through friends. I reached out, but I've been following the club for. Do you know what? You played a game at the Valley, I think, against your Dev
team.
Side. Yeah. And I know one of your players quite well, Lewis Croucher.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I was watching you then, and then he said about that you're going to go on some journey, watch out for you. So I started following you on social media and know a few of your players. Know Searsy quite well.
Oh, nice. Oh, it's a small world, isn't it, the football community?
Yeah.
Everybody knows
Definitely.
everybody. So that's cool. Yeah, no, I just wanted to caveat, we've never met. We've just spoke on WhatsApp. So this is the first time we've met for everyone. So everything we're going to talk about
it was in the group chat, and then we said a few messages. I think getting us both in the same room at the same time has been a bit difficult.
It's been a challenge. Yeah, we've been talking about this since before Christmas, I think, haven't we?
Yeah.
We finally got there. So let's just go back there. Let's just. I've got a few questions for you actually that I made notes on earlier. You mentioned obviously the loss of your friend was a big point in your life for you. Is that a personal experience you can elaborate on a bit more?
Yeah, of course. So I've had a lot of friends who've had battles, but one of my brother's very close friends, his best friend, someone I worked with, someone I went away with a lot, like he passed away, and wasn't something I've ever experienced. So you wouldn't have known. I literally see him weeks before. I wouldn't have known that he was going through what he was going through. And I know it's such a cliche, but lads don't speak up enough. And from my own personal experience, since speaking Lads Speak Out, if I've had a bad time, or I'll be completely brutally honest, I was signed off work with mental health, and I told the lads, and it was just I found it completely terrifying to tell the lads. And, even though I'm the chairman of Lads Speak Out and I should find it easy to talk about, it wasn't the easiest thing to do. But being the chairman, I've got to lead by example. And it was one of the best things I did, telling the boys how I felt. And, it's not been easy running this team, because football and then charity doesn't always go hand in hand. And, lads do just want to go out and play football. But my most important thing is the lads' welfare. And, I've got a duty of care to the boys now. We've got about 60 players in both teams signed on.
Wow.
And anyone that goes for anything, we check in. I've set a group chat up to lads that just want to talk, don't want to see the football banter, because as you can imagine, sometimes the banter flies in the, especially the Sunday group chat. And, we're always checking in with the boys. But I just think it's important also, once the clocks change, every summer, for this will be the third year now, that we put on just open sessions just for men's mental health. Just anyone, any ability, any gender really, just come down and play football. And if you want to talk at the end, talk at the end.
So, and you're elaborating on what's happening now. I want to kind of go back a bit for people who don't know, because you say you formed it 2021, 2022, was it?
2022.
2022, yeah. And Tom and Mitch, are they co-founders?
Yes, they are. Yeah. So
what were those early conversations like with you guys before you even came up with the idea?
So we all played for the same Sunday league side, and I'll be brutally honest, Tom and Mitch won't mind me say this, we was never going to get in that team's first team. We wasn't. But we just felt that we missed being part of that dressing room, missed meeting up with lads. And, like I keep saying, it is escape. And I remember inviting the lads first time round. They thought they were just coming round for Chinese. And I was like, I've got an idea. And, I already had Lads Speak Out in my head as the name. Didn't have like a colour or anything like that for kits or anything, just a vague idea of what I wanted to do. And then I'll be honest, 3 years down the line, I wasn't expecting to have a Sunday league team and a charity team, and the charity team are actually playing in Watford, Vicarage Road, on May the 10th.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
We'll have to get.
It's the
some
Mental Health
details
World
on.
Cup.
Is it?
Yeah, the Mental Health World Cup is a six-a-side tournament. I was part of the Watford tournament last year, set up by a Watford fan page called WD18. Good group of lads. They did it for mine last year, and this year they're expanding, and the Mental Health World Cup, I think normally held at QPR, but they're doing one at Vicarage Road this year as well.
Okay.
Um,
Cool. You'll have to give me the details, and we'll add it as a
Yes.
pinned comment on YouTube.
Yeah.
How people can get
yeah,
involved with
definitely.
that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think we've already raised, I think it's Mind, other charities. There's 5 mental health charities. We've already raised 650, and the aim before ball's kicked is £1,000.
Nice. We should easily achieve that together with some help from all of our listeners. I mean,
that'd be amazing.
we haven't gone live like this for ages, like I said, so I'm not expecting millions of people to be watching this. I think we've got 11, but this will build, and this is something we want to do as a club, supporting men's mental health with people like you, and we'll get other guests on. So the plan is we're going to do this on a regular basis now, hopefully bi-weekly, maybe even weekly. But when you first put on that first session, was your aim football first, the men's mental health chatting with people second, or the other way around? Oh, we might have lost you. Audio, Danny. I don't know what's happened there. Oh no, that's not good. Your audio just said. Has something changed your end? Can you still hear me? You can hear me, but I can't hear you. Oh, there we go. Did you do
hear
something?
Me? Yeah, I put it on mute and then I muted it.
You accidentally muted at some point. Never mind. Yeah, sorry. So, did you hear what I said? Yeah, play
yes,
first,
I did,
chat.
Yeah. So the aim really, and like I said, my motto was that I think everybody deserves to play the game they love. You're obviously in Sunday league or youth football, don't always get the chance, abilities and stuff like that. And I just wanted to create a safe space for lads to go out and play the game they love. And if they are struggling, we can talk about it. But I think some lads have just gone, they don't talk, but just being there and having them sessions. And then I'll get a text 12 weeks down the line of sessions and gone, you don't know how much just playing on every Thursday night means to me. And, going back to what you said about first session, there were 6 of us at a park in Stevenage kicking a ball, and one of my mates said to me, surely you're not going to do this next week? And I said, I'm going to do it every week. I'm literally going to put it on every week. And then within the 4th week, we had 24 lads. And, our football training sessions today, okay, it's a mixture between Sunday league and anyone who wants to come down, but we get about 20 lads a week, and that's just for determination. I knew it won't be built overnight, but I couldn't just... Yeah, all right. It was a bit disappointing only having 6, but I wasn't just doing this for football. It wasn't about having a good football experience. It was about putting this on for lads. There's been some weeks there was 3 people, but I said I'll always put it on.
Yeah. Do you know what? I was having this conversation with one of the lads from our team, AFC1 in Duncan, who's actually got a diploma in men's mental health or mental health generally.
Yeah.
I've got it written on WhatsApp because I'm going to talk about it later.
Yeah.
But I said doing this feels a little bit for me like we're just jumping on a bandwagon. But I've also been through some stuff recently, which we'll talk about in another episode. This episode's about you, but I just wanted to get this out there. I lost both my parents and we lost a baby in the last kind of 8 years. And then last year, it suddenly caught up with me, and I didn't realise what it was until I started speaking to people. So just doing this, even if only 10 people, like you said, 6 people turned up, if we've only got 7 people on TikTok and 12 people on YouTube at the minute, but if one person listens to us and goes away and opens up to someone and it helps them, to me, that's amazing. So that's why you kept going, right? For that reason.
Yeah, see, I was about 2 years ago now, I'd already started this team, and I was on a stag do. I was on a stag do, and someone that I'd never known, just mutual with this guy whose stag it was, and we he wants to set up a podcast. We haven't actually got round to doing it, a men's mental health podcast. But I remember him saying, as long as we help one person and feel like they're being listened to and they can speak, that's what you do it for. And you know, even the Sunday boys, they surprise me sometimes. They text me and say, "This club, it's so welcoming. Like, you know, thank you for this." And you don't think you're doing anything different to what other people do, but I suppose it's just we do open the door to everyone, and
that
not all
be my
football clubs
question.
are like that.
Do you specifically do anything different to any other Sunday team to say, come and share your stories, talk specifically about challenges?
I suppose the group chat would be different. I suppose more the group chat is very open to lads that can talk about it and express themselves in a non-judge. I've never ever had any bad experience and people mocking anyone in the group chat, but if we had, they'd been removed straight away, and it doesn't matter how good they are at football, like that wouldn't be tolerated. But
so it's creating that safe space where people.
But maybe because we've created that safe space, we've never come across that sort of situation.
By the way, I just wanted to refer to a comment that I saw come in. I've got comments on two screens because we're on two platforms. But Andy from ACM Media, he knows you very well, right? He's a top guy. He said, absolutely top bloke, Danny. When's the Mental Health World Cup? Because he'll happily come along and do photos for you boys.
May the 10th.
May the 10th. There we go, Andy. We'll pin a comment on this YouTube video as well.
Well, me and Andy are both Watford fans as well, so.
Oh, yeah. There's George is online now as well. Hello, George. Hello,
good old Georgie.
Being part of so many football clubs, but not like Lads Speak Out, unreal team. That's from Jay Gammon.
Yes, yeah. Jay, he's our goalkeeper.
Nice one. Hello, Jay. Thanks for joining. So you started out with like 6 people. You obviously had the determination to keep going, but what do you think resonated strongly with the people in the beginning that made them keep coming back and it started to build?
Probably because people could see we cared, and you know, even at the start, I remember the first time saying I want to donate money to Mind and getting lads to pay the money. I'd never really run a team before, and the first thing I think I sent was like £20 to Mind, but it was always my thought that I'm not just doing this for football. I want to raise money. I want to raise awareness. Awareness was the big one, that lads can speak out in football. I think we are having our first conversations on WhatsApp. Like, obviously, you guys were a non-league side, and just being a grassroots manager and having to do the welfare courses and all that for the FA, you read it all, but how much does actually get looked into helping the lads and actually talked about? Like, I watched the video and saw that, and that's great, but when I watched that, I thought us lads maybe are a little bit step ahead, not being big-headed, but we've done that stuff for 2 years. Checked in, like, if I think one of the lads is just not himself, I'll message him after the game on a Sunday and just be like, is everything okay? I'd like to think every manager does that, but that's something I've always done and I always will do.
Yeah, that's nice. Some people, obviously, that resonate with people. And that's how
and I think that may be why, because we have checked in from the early days, and probably gone around the houses with that answer. But
no, that's fine. Our welfare officer is actually online, Dave. Hopefully, he's taking notes. Only joking, Dave. He's also a moderator, so he might kick me out of the live stream. At what point? Because you said you've obviously got 2 teams, which I didn't realise until I started researching this week. You've got the main team and then you've got the fundraiser team. How did that come about, and what's the difference? I guess the answer's in the name.
I think in terms of, I'm going to be brutally honest, and the lads won't mind me saying this, we were expecting to play charity games, and then every week we were getting a charity game, every week, and the standard was getting higher, and then we were battering teams, and you know, there was lads that started who wanted to play football, and it didn't sit well with me, people sitting on the bench, because they chose us for a reason. They wanted to play football, and I didn't want to ever come away from what we are. So I decided to, literally, it was like a spare moment. It was after a Sunday game. I was like, I'm going to go Sunday League next year with the team that we've had for I think it would have been about 12 months at that time. And keep the charity team, and lads that weren't getting played as much became the charity team. And I'll be honest, they're a very, very high standard charity side. I watched them the other week. They played a side called Wandering Crows, which are from Essex, very good standard side. And they beat them 7-2. And obviously, I would probably say that the fundraiser would give us a good game as well, to be fair, the Sunday side. So it's not just about the standard, but it's about, I'd say 10 of the lads that were in that Wandering Crows game on the charity side have been there since day one.
Yeah, well, that's good.
They're the lads that I didn't want to ever get rid of, and yeah, they're doing us proud. But it was more about, I think, that we got to a standard where the lads wanted to be competitive, but I never wanted to come away from the charity side. So that's why we created the fundraiser. I won't lie, it's come with its problems this season. Obviously, we have mined on the shirt in the Sunday League. If I'm thinking back now, I probably would have done it the other way around, because I don't know if Sunday League and charity football mix. Any little tackle, it's always like you call yourself a men's mental health team, stuff like that. And it has been a little bit difficult for the boys, and I think they carry that, on their back a little bit.
So they've got extra mental health pressures from being a mental health team.
But I've spoke to Mind recently. Spoke to Linda from Mind in Mid Hearts, explained why we won't be wearing it on the shirt next season, but we'll always wear it on the charity shirt. And they completely understood and had heard of this kind of thing before. I didn't really want to tarnish Mind either, because of what a great job they do.
Yeah.
I just didn't think Sunday League and the charity aspect went hand in hand. But I'll never come away from charity football, because it's the whole reason I set it up and the whole reason I'm so passionate about what we do.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I think in football, generally, any target, doesn't matter how small it is, becomes a target, because it's a battle, isn't it, between two teams. Anything the opposition...
It was definitely a target on the boys' back. I won't lie, like, have in mind, I denied about it the summer, but because of where we come from, what we've done for the last 2 years, I couldn't not have Mind in our first season. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
But, I saw last week one of my players put a tackle in. It was a hard tackle, but the lad got up and said, "You call yourself a men's mental health team?" And it's like, we can't win.
No, you can't. We're in a kind of similar position, because we video games at like step 7, step 6.
I watched
we get
last night,
a lot of shit for just having cameras.
Yeah, I watched the game last night.
Did you? That was a good one to watch. Plenty of goals.
yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, nice. You talked about the lads in the WhatsApp group and stuff. You may not have an answer to this one, but are there any particularly impactful stories of any of the players that you can allude to or share where you've really helped someone?
Yeah. Like I remember one time where I got approached by Love Stevenage. They're like a online paper.
Yep.
And they wanted to do an interview with us, and I just said, lads, anyone that wants to open up about their experiences. I meant more to like DM me, but all the lads started opening up, like in front of the boys, saying things that you never know about the lads, like, and just opening up about their past and stuff like that. And I know this sounds like very cliche, but it did make us stronger, because obviously you don't realise what people are going through behind closed doors.
No.
And for them to feel comfortable with opening up, and obviously knowing the kind of club we are, that's the one that sticks out to me, where people that put some really personal stuff that you would never know what they're going through, it's like, oh wow, like, they feel comfortable to do that, because that doesn't just happen overnight. You don't become a men's mental health team, you have a group chat, and then they go, I've gone through this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. We're men, right? And that's the whole point. Yeah. In my corporate job, I was live streaming an event we did the other week, and we have a guy who's a senior manager who stood up talking about men's mental health, and he told a little story about, he's probably heard it a million times, people all say this, the difference between men and women, but he listened to his wife, had all her friends over for a dinner party or whatever, and they're just talking the whole time, and they're sharing stuff, experiences. Yeah. A couple of days later, he's down the pub with his mates, and it's like, all right, John, how are you? How's work? Yeah, work's good. Do you want a pint? Yeah, get a pint. You watch football? watch the F1. It's just about sports and work, and that's it. We don't sit there and go, do you know what? I've had a really tough time because of X, Y, Z. It just doesn't happen.
No. I'm lucky that I've got friends that I know would listen to, but I'm not even being the chairman of a team that are called Speak Out. I do sometimes struggle. Just go, look, mate, I'm having a, and I think we all do. I think we all do that. And I've been very, like I said in the group chat, recently I was honest about, I signed myself off work, and when the lads like message me like, I hope everything's okay, stuff like that. I know it's hard and we bottle things up, but for me, I can only speak for myself, but speaking out does really help.
It does. Yeah, I can concur.
Yeah.
This is exactly what happened to me in this, like, kind of last year. I had 9 months where relationship was almost coming to an end because of the way I was being. My job was at risk because of the way I was being, and I didn't even know. But as soon as I opened up, luckily at work, we have a really good support system, and spoke to one person. There's one person I work with who's amazing. He's a lad as well, and he's been through his own mental health issues. But as soon as you make that first step and admit, I've got a problem, and share it with someone, it sounds cliched, but it is like a weight being lifted off your shoulder.
Yeah, no, massively.
Yeah, it's so important. So that even if that's the only key takeaway anyone gets from this session tonight, just talk to people. And
I can't.
Sorry, mate. I was just saying, you don't have to be an expert. Right. If someone comes to you with a problem, you might not have the answer. People don't always need answers; they just want to be listened to.
No.
Right?
No, and that's the whole reason we set up. Like, I'm not going to stand here and say we haven't had our problems, and a lot of lads just want to go play football, and I think the two sometimes don't go hand in hand. Where you have to maybe move someone, or there's difficult parts of running this as well. Where you want to keep people in the side, but maybe they're not playing, and it's difficult. But I'll never ever come away from not caring about the lads and stuff like that. And we've lost people that have just wanted to play football, and I completely understand that, because at the end of the day, we are a football team. But I do still care about every single one of the people that put my badge on and come to all my sessions.
Oh, that's brilliant. I've just noticed a comment coming from your keeper again, actually, where he said, Danny helps us all massively too. He's always there, and that's what keeps me coming back week after week, for sure.
So that's lovely to hear.
That's great. Duncan's online as well, who I mentioned earlier. Someone on TikTok has created a spoof of me. They've called themselves James Kilroy and said they're my fan page. It's probably Dave, because I took the piss out of him a minute ago. What was my other question I was going to ask you? You've talked about the challenges of Sunday League team, and I get that as well. I used to run a Sunday League team years ago in Stevenage, so I know all those challenges.
Might be naivety, if I'm honest, maybe thinking the two can coexist, if I'm being honest now. But we gave it a go, and next year we're going to be called LSOFC, so we're not really coming away too much. We're just going to have the letters on the back, on the shirt more, the badge, but badge will still be on, like, here on the tracksuit tops and stuff. And
Andy's just said Till Kilroy about that kit, Danny, with a winky.
Who said that?
Andy.
Our kit. Yeah, Andy made the kit. Andy made the kit, the Mind kit.
Okay, he's doing a plug. I thought he
might be.
It's
a lovely kit, to be fair. Don't worry, Andy. We won't be getting rid of the kit. It just won't be in the Sunday League no more.
Do you know what? That's a good segue, because I've got a little video. Let's give people a little break from our faces for a second. Yeah. And we'll play a little. It's only a very short 30-second clip of you boys playing, and we can see Andy's kit. It's a good segue. You ready? Let's do this. It's all the best bits, I'm assuming.
That's a goal. Don't need to kill it. The best goal you got recorded. Good header, Reece. You fitty?
Which kit's Andy's? Have we seen it? Is it the purple one?
This one now.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Good, Reece. Fun pass.
Yeah, well played. Come on, bit of quality. Go on then.
Yes.
There you go. Perfect.
Tap in. There you go. That's my kind of goal.
Reece, well done. Come from you. Come on.
There we go. Right, we're back at the beginning there. Yeah, there you go. So
Yeah,
a bit of action.
the purple one is his. Yeah, I'd say that purple goal that I said, the first one in the purple, is probably going to get goal of the season from Nick. It was an absolute banger.
Nice. Yeah, Sunday League challenges was a question. Fundraising. Oh, how did you decide on Mind? By the way, that was a question. How did that partnership come about?
So I wanted a sponsor that was true to who we were, and obviously we donated to Mind every game after when we was a charity team at the time, and wasn't, like I said at first, a lot every week, but it was a charity that was close to our heart. And then actually a team called Community Kickout from Hertford, Hemel Hempstead, that put on sessions every week for people, women and men. We played them in a friendly for a cup, like our first little cup. Beat them, and then I stayed in contact with their guy, and he put me onto someone at Mind in Mid Hearts. I asked the question if they'd go on the shirt. Because it was Sunday League, there wasn't 100% yes straight away, but yeah. I convinced them, and I'm happy it did. And I think they're a great charity, and I'll always work with them. Like I said, we've got our own reasons for coming away from that, but it's nothing to do with the charity. They do some amazing things and very close to my heart. But we've chose to come away from the right reasons. But the fundraiser on the back of their shirt, Mind, and it always will be on there. Yeah. And we donate what we can to them.
Nice. I guess the next bit. Oh, advice for young players. I was going to ask you this one. So, have you got any practical advice you give young players to encourage open conversations about any social issues within their teams? Not your team, just generally anyone listening to this.
Yeah, it's a difficult one because I know that like younger players playing other teams, it won't. I think my lads probably do have a bit of luxury there where there is a safe place to say anything, and I know what young people are like and can be judgmental, and it's hard. But I would say I know this sounds so cliche because of what we call, but just speak out. Just people do care, and sometimes saying it's not as big as it is in your head. And I personally would like any young player that plays for me feel like they can come and speak to me. I probably would have liked to give that advice to myself when I was a younger player, because when you're having a bad day and your head's down, you don't always express it, and people just think you don't care or you're not playing. And I think that's one of the other things. We don't always think what people have got going on at home. Yeah. And that's one thing I do try to do, especially young players. I had a young player that everyone was saying about their attitude, and I remember checking in, and it was something quite serious. And like I said, I am that type of manager / chairman that will always check in, but just speak out. I think that will probably be the theme of the interview, where we just say and speak out. But
got to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
It has. Yeah. And I guess as a young player, if you're in like a Saturday team or even a Sunday team where you're the youngest and there's only a couple of young players, they do naturally end up getting a lot of the banter, a lot of the stick. So they may feel pressured to speak out because they'll think that's going to go against them or whatever. But find the manager, a coach, someone you trust, and just say, look, I want to talk to you about something that I don't want to be shared with everybody. That first step, you might find it helps massively.
Yeah.
So I had future plans. You've obviously got the Vicarage Road, the Charity World Cup.
Yeah, so that's the tournament for the fundraiser. I won't lie, I've loved every second of Sunday League this season, and really looking forward to going into our second season next season. Which I'm told is always the hardest one, keeping players and stuff like that. But I think for the fundraiser side of things and for men's mental health, my biggest aim is to set up a charity league, because I've got a lot of contacts now who play in different charity teams, and with for competitive football, but all doing it for the right reasons. So the home team will raise money for that charity, and then when you go away, you'll then raise for their charity. I've met some amazing charity teams. I'll name a few: OGLS, AFC Awareness, Dementia United, Wandering Crows. Greg, who runs that, I think he has about 7 different teams he can put out. We actually played them 18 months ago. And do you know Charlie Daniels, who used to play for Bournemouth?
I don't know.
Yeah, great player, and he rinsed us. Mitch won't like me admit this, but I think he's still in Mitch's pocket, if I'm honest. But well, yeah, some great charities, and Forever Finley as well. Jack, who runs there, is a great, and it's a bit of a community, and we have a group chat. And my aim, and I've said this to the boys, would love to set up a league, and all money goes to apart from pitch and refs, obviously, goes to charity, and that's my biggest aim for the next 18 months is to get that off the ground.
Nice. Oh, that's good. I read somewhere about coffee mornings. Is that old? Do you still do those?
So we have done that before, but going forward to the future, yes. After the season's done, we're going to start doing coffee evenings with lads, booking out a community centre, and we're in the process of just sorting a few dates out, but doing like mental health walks. So lads, anyone that doesn't go for a football team, anybody that wants to, will go for a walk. We'll talk it out, and if you don't even want to talk it out, we'll just go for a walk.
Yeah. Do you know what? That was the other thing I was going to say. Like, exercise and mental health go hand in hand as well. That was the one thing
absolutely
I wasn't doing when I went through my period. I wasn't even taking the kids to school. I was going in the car. Do you know what I mean?
No.
I wasn't even walking 10 minutes for school walks. And I used to be a runner, believe it or not, like half marathons. And when I was doing that, I can't remember ever feeling slightly depressed or down or anything, because exercise clears your mind. It's another key thing I'd say to anybody.
No, absolutely. Like,
down.
I could do with a bit of weight myself, but I train with the boys once a week, and I can't even express like when I get back what that does. Like, it just helps me just playing with the boys, just getting back out there. I definitely feel it the next day, but it's very enjoyable.
Yeah, and it's switching off as well, isn't it? We live in such a digital world. Like, I don't know about you, but my job, I'm always on screens. With the football, it's social media, so I'm always
that
editing.
hour's amazing, yeah.
And it's like you need to switch off.
That hour, you just forget everything. You're just playing football with the boys, and I think that's really the reason we set up. You just want to go play. I believe it or not, when I was a kid, like had trials at decent teams and stuff like that, but nothing ever for me beats playing with your mates.
Yeah.
And just having a kick about, and the fact that we can raise awareness for such an important cause. Also, the job I do, like I work in the mental health sector. The lad I support, well, he's older than me, but I've been with him for 8 years now. You know, it's severe sometimes. It's a hard job, but I will never ever leave that field. Like, I always come away. It's such a rewarding job, and feel like I'm making a difference to someone's life.
Oh, that's awesome.
My job is probably my most. Yeah, my job is probably my most rewarding thing. But Lad Speak Out now comes a close second. But I wouldn't be able to do it without a lot of people behind me. And while I'm on here, I'll shout them out. So Tom and Mitch co-founded. I wouldn't have been able to do it without them. Tom's taking a slight break away, but Mitch still plays for the fundraiser. Tom's getting married, so can't really have a go in for that one. And Jay, the actual gaffer of the Sunday League team, I would not be able to do it with Jay. Jay's club secretary. I wouldn't want to do that job. And he makes it look very, very easy. And yeah, I've got a great group of people around me. And shout out to Casey as well, who's the girlfriend of one of our players. She does all our graphics and things like that. And yeah, got a good team around me. I can't just take full credit for everything. There's definitely
brilliant.
A good group of people.
You're a good man, Danny. I can hear that, feel it, and everything you do,
Thank
and
you.
the comments that are coming in. So it's really nice, really, really nice. Just want to go back to some of the comments actually before my last question for you.
Yeah.
Your goalkeeper said he can't believe there's no unbelievable saves in those clips that you sent me. It's just all about goals.
Need to start making some. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Scott Atkinson also says the training sessions are great, all different standards of players, and everyone has a smile. That's good to hear.
Yeah, Scott now runs the fundraiser team. Him and Jake are the managers
Okay.
of that.
Cool.
He's a good lad, and to be fair to Scott, he's massively helped us in terms of building for the fundraiser. He's very good at something I'm not, of social media and doing graphics, and he's definitely helped us move on because my graphics aren't great.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. Mine aren't either. Carly does all ours.
I was
She's
a
online.
one man band for a bit, but Scott is another one I should have shouted out because his graphics and stuff like that, and Terry Thompson as well. He is now the chairman of the fundraiser, so we've got a big group of people now.
Nice. So Dave Wells, who I mentioned before, is actually our club welfare officer. He said,
Yep.
Any advice for a welfare officer? I've been approached by players and we've met for coffee and stuff. But what is your advice for lads that have got more complex needs?
See, I've had some situations that I'm definitely not qualified for, or I think I remember one that literally stunned me, but I just had a coffee, like he said, with him. I think always the best advice is, go down the right channels. I have personally helped people with other problems and gone to the right charities for that, or the right I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but the right avenues to
Like
get the help
signposting,
that
I
they
guess,
need.
isn't it?
Yeah. But I think like I said, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but for me, I think the best thing is just to listen and that the lads know that you are there. So, it's all good saying, always here if you want to chat, and then not having the chat. So I think just so they know that you are there if you want to be there. And, I have gone above and beyond before, but just making sure they do get the help that they need, because I always say this to lads, don't worry about football. Football is literally always going to be there, but get yourself sorted. And, if you need help with that, I'll always be. I think the advice would just be know that they know that you're there.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good advice. Dave's saying lads with more complex needs. He's probably referring to me anyway. I'd call him every day. Duncan gives a wave. Your keeper said, I knew that was coming, in response to, you said, make some saves. And on TikTok, we've had a couple of comments now as well. Cody 180 says, you say you're no good at social media, but Moldy loves a selfie.
Yeah, Cody's Cody's one of our players, but I don't want to dig him out, but he's been out for the last 6 weeks because he fell over a ref.
Did you get
Sorry about that, Cody? No, unfortunately not. He thought he had done his attendance and everything, but no, he fell over the ref. The ref done him.
That's quality. We'd have been all over that on social media. And on that note,
I wish we had got. Trust me, it would have been everywhere.
Someone's taken the mickey out of us saying, well, not Mickey, it was a good goal. What a goal from Rushden and Hyam last night against us when our keeper unfortunately got lobbed, but it wasn't his fault. Someone lost the ball.
Do you know what? That was the only goal I missed yesterday.
Was it? I've been warned not to clip it. He came straight over to me and went, don't clip that. Don't clip that. That's funny. Any more questions while we wrap up, ladies and gents? Get them in the comments, either on TikTok or YouTube, because I've got one last question for you, and that was, are there any specific ways any individuals or organisations can look to get involved with you? Do you need any extra help? Anything you're looking for? Volunteers, etc.
To be honest, just give us a message. Just if you want to be part of it, or if you think there's something that you can offer that we're not doing at the moment. If you just want to be part of Lads Speak Out, just contact us. For me, like I said, I think I've got a good group of people around me now. I'm very privileged to have that. I feel very settled in what we do. But I'm all ears to anyone that wants to help or feel like there's things that I could offer the boys that we're not doing it. I'm always to anything new, especially that helps lads' mental health. Like I said, I think my thing is I think every lad should go out there and play the game they love. That goes hand in hand with also speaking out and just, I really struggled to speak out the other week. But once I told the boys, if something felt lifted, if you feel like you can bring something to Lads Speak Out, if you just want to be part of us, just come down, watch one of our games, come to a training session every Wednesday, and like everybody's welcome. And that's what I hope comes across, that everybody is literally welcome here.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. I'm getting that from you. Definitely, mate. Cody actually said you're telling the truth with lots of laughing emojis about the ref. Synax on TikTok. I think I'm saying that right, but she said, my husband will come back on a Sunday if you get him a bigger shirt. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I do. I'm very good mates with her husband, but that was a very tight shirt. Let's just say that.
What have we got? We've got another one coming. Oh, Carly, who does our social media graphics and all that stuff for us and takes photos. She said, do you think social media in football can cause more mental health problems for people? We can't, yeah. It kind of can, I think. But
sometimes, I won't lie. Sometimes I think it's great what we do, but I've seen the bad sides of it as well. I think I can't remember. I think it might have been a Saturday game or something where a player had done something bad. He's clearly a young lad, and I must have seen that video posted like 20 times in that hour. And like, it is funny, and I've probably been guilty of it before, all the banter and that, but it probably isn't nice for that person to see that mistake go round and round and go viral. I think Twitter's probably a bad one for that, in my opinion.
I said Titter. Twitter is pretty toxic, isn't it? I stayed away from Twitter until I joined AFC Welwyn.
Brett's very entertaining on Twitter. I'll give him that.
Well, I was going to say, the clip that we had of Brett ranting at the subs that went viral, I think it affected Brett's mental health. I mean, he's been getting called all kinds of things.
I saw some of the comments on that. I think people took that very, very serious, didn't they?
Yeah, well, it's 50-50 in the end. I mean, I think there's more people that got where he's coming from, but yeah, it can. If you read all those comments, you can affect you badly.
I was going to actually say that earlier when I was thinking about what to say. I was going to say, I don't know why I was expecting that question about social media, but I was thinking, like, it's funny, I know CZ, but like he got absolute pelters on social media, and some of it was very, very over the top, in my personal opinion.
No, I agree, and I think I've only met him the last few weeks, but I think he's the kind of character that could affect him, and it's not really fair. He hasn't done anything wrong, and also the goalkeeper last night, he did get lobbed, and we just giggled about it, but he came straight over to me at the end and doesn't want it to be clipped, so. You have to respect that sometimes.
Yeah, of course. No, I get that. We played a charity game last summer. We beat a team by a high score, like 18 or something. And their manager was like, please don't put that on social media. And like, you want to, because you want to say, oh, we've scored all them goals, but you have to respect it, don't you?
Yeah, we've had a team that we've played that's in our league. I won't say who they are, but I spoke to their chairman, and he was the same. The team of young lads, and he said if anyone gets rinsed or something embarrassing, please, you can film, because we're at their ground. I always have to ask permission to film at people's grounds.
Yeah,
he's like, but please don't take the mickey if they're the young lads, etc., etc. And I was like, no, absolutely, that's fair enough. If people are letting you film,
see, I think it's probably harder for you guys because you're making your way up the steps. You know. Every team have banter on their pages, but you obviously don't want to push it either. So it's quite a fine balance, isn't it?
And that's the thing. People do need to respect that. Like, everyone sees it as banter in the world of football. Everyone always goes, "Oh, that's just football," but it's still human beings with feelings.
Oh, some of the things I see on Twitter, I'm like, about teams around like you guys' level. I think, wow, like, I'm not saying it's not serious. Of course, I take Lads Speak Out very serious, but yeah, sometimes it can go a bit much on Twitter, in my personal opinion.
Yeah. And I'm open, and I hope the lads at our team know that if there's something we do that they don't like, we do. I had a situation where I put something out and then we took it down because the lad wasn't happy about it.
Oh, yeah, I've had that before with my lads. And sometimes you think it's a good idea and then you don't actually think about the impact it has on them. So,
do you know what? It's perspective.
I can't say
everything's perspective. I've learned that with the stuff I've been going through in my relationship.
Perfect, are we?
Yeah.
Yeah. None of us are perfect. We are going to make mistakes. We are going to not judge something, and it's all about how we react, ain't it?
Yeah. But you can see something one way, and it's black and white to you, but to another person it might
Yes.
be red, and then you have to
Yeah.
kind of see it from their point of view. So it's like that every decision
Yeah.
you make in life, I think. That was Carly's question. Thank you, Carly. It's a good question. That made a lot of conversation there.
Yeah.
Andy's back on. He said, Danny, my boys' charity game would like you to be involved in it this year. Would be an honour to get you guys involved.
Yeah, love to.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
Andy does. He runs his charity team as well, doesn't he? But the work
Yeah,
you've
yeah,
done...
and I've got a lot of time for Andy. I think I tried to set up Lad Speak Out about 2-3 years before, and we called ourselves Reach Out FC, and I just probably wasn't in the right frame of mind myself to run a team at the time.
Yeah.
But our first ever game was against Andy's boys.
Oh, was it? Nice.
Yeah.
What was the score?
5-5, if I remember rightly. 5-5.
That's all right then. That's all right. He also went on to say the work you've done with LSO side, along with those you are helping, it's incredible, inspiring, mate. Honestly. So yeah.
Oh, thank you. I
Thanks,
appreciate that,
Andy. TikTok, I haven't kept up, and I'm not going to scroll back because I'll just lose the flow of the conversation. So there's not many people on TikTok. People come and go on TikTok, and it's the first time we've been on there for ages. Okay, well that's great. I think what have we hit time wise? 50 minutes. So that's plenty of time. So
yeah,
thank
no,
you very
no.
much.
I just want to say thank you for giving me the platform. I really appreciate it. I know Dave Wickham very well. I respect everything you guys are doing over there, and just give me the time and to express something I really feel passionate about. I just want to say thank you.
Oh no, you're more than welcome. A shame it's the first one we've done in a long time, because if you do them regularly, this kind of thing, you do build up a bigger audience. But hopefully, people go back.
I'm more than happy to jump. I'm more than happy to jump on a podcast and talk about mental health again. It's something
we'll
that I could
on.
talk about forever.
Yeah, definitely. Well, hopefully, we're gonna make a little series out of it as well. I'll just
definitely. Yeah, like I said, I'd like to have a partnership between the two clubs. I think both clubs are similar and very opposite at the same time, but I could see it working, if I'm honest.
Yeah, and if any of your lads do want to come on and share a story, we're open to that. Obviously, that's a massive step to share a story publicly. But
yeah, absolutely.
If anyone wants to, give us a
after
shout.
After this, I'm gonna go to training. They're probably gonna give me stick about it. But no, thank you again. Honestly, it's been really enjoying talking and reliving some of the best memories we've had so far.
Perfect. Thanks, mate. Well, you can drop off, and I'll just wrap it up. And
yes,
thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Cheers, mate.
Take care. Bye.
So that was Danny Mole, inspirational man, works in the mental health field, and obviously started what has ended up being 2 fundraising teams as well. So, and giving players a place to come together and feel safe and talk and speak out, which is fantastic. So hopefully, as I said to Danny, we're going to do this more regularly. So if anybody knows anyone who would come on and talk about men's mental health generally, do give us a shout. I've got Big Duncan from the AFC Welwyn team who's going to join me next week. And Duncan actually has a diploma in the science of well-being and mental health. So he'll be someone that's got a little bit more credibility talking about these things. He's also a coach, and he's let me read this. I grew up playing rugby in South Wales, didn't start football until my early 20s. I played professionally, but also used it to get a master's degree in business psychology. He now uses that knowledge to help companies get the best deals possible, either through profit or return on investment. So he's going to be a fantastic guest. And the plan, hopefully, is he will be a co-host or a host on his own when I can't make it, to keep this going, keep the conversation going. So thank you to everyone that tuned in. Thank you to everyone who interacted in the comments. You're all amazing. Listen to people, talk to people, and be happy and safe. Thank you very much.